Okay, so you're coming on your very first mission trip and you are trying to figure out what do you put your stuff in. Here are a few tips for you and a few tips about what to put in if you're doing this for the very first time. First off, this is a checked suitcase. You cannot put this down the aisle of a plane. You cannot put this in the overhead bins. Do not try to take this as your carry-on suitcase. This is for checked luggage. 50-pound maximum on most trips. Check our packing lists or final trip details and we will let you know if it's different than that. This is a carry-on suitcase. Much smaller, easily fits on an airplane. Most airplanes, you can put this in the overhead bin. Needs to be light enough that you can pick it up and put it over your head and into the bin. So if you cannot pick it up, please take something out of it and condense. If you have a large camping backpack, we're talking the ones that stand taller than this suitcase, those would qualify as a suitcase, a carry-on suitcase, not a personal item. Okay, so Amy and I are here to show you how to pack for any Global Encounters summer mission trip in nothing but a carry-on suitcase and a backpack. Believe me, it can be done. And you will thank yourself as you are dragging your stuff through the jungles of Chiapas or the mountains of Ecuador or the castles of Europe or whatever. You'll be really grateful that you don't have a ton of stuff. So let's do a quick rundown of what you want to gather to get started. Step one, gather your stuff. It's so much easier to pack if you've got it all laid out, you know, everything that you're taking, instead of being like, ooh, whoops, shoes. And then like your whole suitcase is packed and you realize there's no shoes in there. I have done that many times, unpack the whole thing because now the shoes don't fit and then you're having to make choices about what to pull. Just have it all laid out to start with. Much easier. So, quick rundown of what you need. You want to have your toiletries, and travel size really is worth spending a couple extra bucks to get travel size stuff. So I have found, I know I'm not exactly TSA kosher, but I usually take 2 bags and I've never had anybody get upset with me. So, I don't know, take 2 bags and be willing to throw one away if you have to. So, I've never had anybody get upset. I've been on so many international flights with 2 bags of liquids. Think through what you need to do your hair. Guys, you have it so much easier. Just run your fingers through it. I don't know. So, hairspray, curling irons, makeup, all the toiletry stuff. One unique thing for doing international toiletries, I always recommend a quick dry towel. You never know exactly if towels are going to be available or not, and I can guarantee you there's probably some place where there's not a towel, or you look at the towel and you're like, I am not putting that on my face. So quick dry towels are a good thing. You can get them at REI or something like that for about $15 or so. Also, unique thing, a mirror. It's a really good thing because normally, I don't know what they have against mirrors in international countries, but they're usually about this big for 14 girls and they're invariably at the wrong height. So take your own mirror. Okay, next category of stuff you want to think through are your clothes. For a 3-week mission trip, on which I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do much laundry. I usually pack about 12 shirts, 3 to 4 pairs of pants, 2 skirts, one of which can work for church and one of which is usually casual but could double for church. If I'm going to someplace like Ecuador where it's cool and keto, I'll take 2 to 3 jackets or sweaters, usually fairly lightweight. Same thing for Chiapas and Romania. I'd still probably take a jacket. I've been there when it's been cold in the summertime. Just because I like them, I take a few scarves to Ecuador because it actually gets cold enough to use them and I just like them and they wad up really small. So that's just me. I also do take jewelry just because I like to accessorize, and if you're wearing the same clothes all summer long, like just rotating from one mission trip to the next and you're like, I've seen these same 12 shirts, you're going to want to stick some accessories with it or it will get boring. I always throw in a swimsuit just because you never know, and just take it, it makes life easier. Pajamas, that's a good thing. Socks and underwear, I highly recommend Ziploc bags. It makes it so much easier to sort through your suitcase. It also keeps them dry if it rains, and there's nothing worse than wearing wet socks and underwear. Okay, you're going to want some sort of bag to carry your supplies around. For those of you who are on teams where you're doing children's ministry, you're probably going to want like a book bag or backpack. I'm usually carrying more team supplies with me, so I actually just have a very understated purse. I don't want it to attract any attention. I don't want people to really notice it because it has stuff in it, so that I don't want stolen. I recommend just kind of a beat up purse that you don't really care a whole lot about. Let's see, you're also going to want shoes. Shoes take up a ton of space in your luggage, so be conservative on the shoes unless your name is Daniel Kavanaugh. Just saying. Okay, so here's what I take as far as shoes. 2 pairs of flip-flops, because I usually have 1 pair that breaks. I don't know why, but that always seems to happen. So 2 pairs of flip-flops or 1 pair of flip-flops and super glue. That works too. 1 pair of comfortable flats. Pick black or brown, depending on which one you tend to wear more. It's really not worth it to take 2 pairs of flats. And then, being a girl, I do take 1 pair of nice shoes, and I think these shoes are really cute. And they go with everything, but they're super comfortable. So don't take any 4-inch heels. It's not worth it to break your ankle in some foreign country. And on top of that, they take up way too much space in your luggage. So no 4-inch heels. That's really not a good idea. I highly recommend a pocket knife. They come in handy for all kinds of things, but don't put that in your carry-on. Throw that in a team bag or something like that. So if you're only doing carry-on, you won't be able to take a pocket knife. That's okay. Hopefully somebody else will have one. A hat is an awesome thing, especially if showers are few and far between. So this is very definitely a Chiapas supply. If you're going to other countries, it's way easier to find showers, but hats are definitely needed for Chiapas. Water bottles, take them empty and fill them up after you go through security, because they never feed you enough water on those airplanes, and you'll need this while you're out in the country as well. And then I do not actually take this, but Amy says she does, a raincoat. But that's because she typically is leading a jungle team, and I'm not, and I guess I don't care if I get wet, so. Alright, so that's a quick rundown of what to take. Oh, and electronics. I almost forgot an entire category here. Okay, electronic gear. If you have a smartphone and you're taking it, that's good. If you want to ask me how to avoid paying for huge international data fees, just ask. You can't leave home without this if you're going to a foreign country. You can ask a few team members that have tried, didn't work, you need a passport. Don't worry, they made it on their trip, it just was a pain in the neck. I take an iPad, and my goal is to actually leave my computer behind this year and just do the iPad. So if you're taking something like that, Amy highly recommends packing it in a Ziploc bag, because that protects it from any exploding, you know, shampoo, toothpaste, or rainstorms. And then this is a cute little way to carry all of your cords. Well, I don't know. Guys could use that too, right? It's not too unmanly. Yeah. Guys could have something similar. It's way more organized. This is actually Amy's, because I was still the unorganized, just wrapping up all the cords and throwing them in the bag. So this is a good idea. I'm getting one of these. And snacks. Always take snacks. You will be longing for American snacks by the end of the trip, even in Ecuador where the food's really good. So, snacks. And that's pretty much all the categories of stuff to take.